let's talk about hernia mesh.
Yep, hernia mesh. And hernia mesh is really two different cases at this point. So
what do you mean by that?
Bard hernia mesh, the two biggest manufacturers of hernia mesh are Covidien and Bard. The Bard case has mostly settled. The cases up to a particular date have settled. The first 33,000 cases have a settlement offer. And then Covidien is a different manufacturer of hernia mesh. It's a completely different lawsuit. That's one that we're working towards dates for a bellwether trial. That's a different case, but I would say depending on the year, 50, 60, 65% of hernia mesh is manufactured by Bard. The cases that come in now are not part of the settlement, but we anticipate that they will be part of kind of a phase 2 or round 2 of the settlement. And then Covidien cases, we think we'll get a trial maybe in a year, and you could get a settlement before or after a bellwether trial. So we're working on those cases as well. But we're working really hard to go through our inventory of old cases and find where people will fit into the Bard settlement. That's what we're working on every day right here in the office.
So when you talk about settlement, because I think most people hear settlement and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get money in like a week. But that's really not the reality. Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, great question. So the Bard settlement is $1.3 billion minimum, and that goes to the first 33,000 people who filed cases into either the federal court multi-district litigation or the Rhode Island state court litigation. So handing out, like to say it in a short way, it takes a while to hand out $1.3 billion. The idea is that there is a settlement matrix, and you have to figure out how many of each people there are and divide that money up. So it's not like a car accident case where you reach a settlement and you're going to get $100,000. You sign the release, 2 weeks later you get the check. This is a little different than that. And that's because you're dealing with thousands of people at once. And while it feels inefficient for any individual, the fact that you can settle 33,000 cases at a time is a minor miracle. So altogether, the group of people, it's relatively efficient. It's been a long time coming. Several years of litigation, and administering the settlement will take well over a year itself till you get any money, but I would say it's better than the alternative, which is not being compensated for the injuries that you've suffered.
Right. And this is a case where you base the settlements off of the injury, or because it's not just like one that you file and everyone gets the same amount across the board?
Yeah, that would be like a class action if everybody got the exact same. So you're looking at a couple different things. Some products are deemed to be more risky than others, and then different injuries. So a person who has some minor adhesions around the hernia mesh, they may be entitled to a recovery, but not the same if the adhesion had gone into the bowel and they had to have major reconstructive intestinal surgery.
Right.
That person's going to get more money.
Yes.
And then depending on what product, if it's a product where we can prove the company really knew about the risk, maybe Kugel mesh, that person can get more money than a different type of mesh. And it
just varies.
It varies. It's complicated, but whatever it is, I think if somebody suffered, they should certainly look into that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for updating us. We'll keep you updated as we get updated and go from there.
That's a big one.